Okay, there we go. I couldn't get in for a minute. Hi, Trini. Thank you for coming. How are you? Thank you. Early, earlier than me for my own life. Hi, everybody that's here, and thank you guys for the likes, even though I wasn't even in the building as yet. Hi, Rudy. How are you? You were here from 327. Really? So I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come in. So let me tell everybody that's here what I will be doing today. So I want to spice up my look alive a little bit because I've been feeling like it wasn't really given, So I asked a few people that I know, a few little, a few small business owners to send me some stories of their experience as a business owner. I have some from crafters and some from, just community, people that's in communities like we are and stuff like that. So I have a few. I have like three stories I'm gonna read for today. Two of them is kind of lengthy. I personally haven't quite read the story as yet, so I have to warn you guys, and I apologize ahead of time. If you guys know me, say I love to laugh. Me love laugh. I can't help it. That's just who I am. So I don't know how these stories are gonna go, but there's a slight chance that when I'm reading, I might end up laughing a little bit too much. So the story might take a little while, but see with me, see with me. I'll get through it. Um, yeah, I think that's all I want to say. I don't know. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Y'all could talk to me. I don't know if the let me situate myself a little bit. Let me see. For some reason, like I can't see anything in this live, so I don't know if people is here, if you guys are commenting or what. I had a little bit of issue coming in. I wasn't able to click the go live button for some reason, and it keeps telling me there was an issue and blah blah blah. But finally, I was able to. Actually, I don't even know how. I kept on pressing them. Bam, y'all were here. But I don't know if y'all are saying anything because for some reason the comments not moving. I'm telling you, like YT really has a vendetta against me. I don't know why. Like there's always some kind of problem when it comes to YT. So if somebody's, I see one person in here. So whoever you are, can you just type something or smiley or something in the comment section? I don't know if I'm gonna have to come out and come back in, but if you could just type something so I could see. Actually, let me see if I could actually go. Okay. Thank you very much. And welcome in. So for those coming in, I guess I'm gonna have to keep repeating this a few times, but that's okay. So for today, we're gonna be doing some. Oh, all right. Mana ninja. All right. I know who man be. Welcome in. So I'm gonna be doing story time today. I have three stories. Two of them is quite lengthy. One of them is a little bit shortish, but we're gonna be going over them. These are like business. These are business stories. So they're business owners' experiences, with customers and whatever the case may be. So we're gonna go into that. I'm just waiting for a little bit more time before people come in. So for everybody that's here, how are you guys until the stories start? I'll probably give maybe like a 10 minutes. Do you think that's a little bit too long? Thank you. 5 is an awesome number. I don't know. Do you think 10 minutes, a 10-minute wait for more people to come in is a little bit too long, or should I like maybe like in like at 5 minutes in, which is a couple seconds from now, getting Lookaman ready for karate? As you should. Oh my goodness, I want to do some karate in my big old age, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can handle all that. But I would love to do karate. I feel like if I was to like if I could go back and have kids again, I think I would force my children to stay in karate. I'll force them to stay in karate and like a second language because I always had a dream of my kids to be like, thank you. I always had a dream for my children to be like bilingual, you know? Okay, I think, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna start the story time. So another disclaimer with this, I'm gonna be reading on off the stories. I'm gonna be reading the stories off my iPad. So I have everything in my notes. I kind of organized them, for my look of sanity. So I also named the people them story. I named the people them story. And for anybody that's watching this, especially the people them that like to imitate me, I beg you, don't teach the people them story. You know, you could do the same thing if they want to do the same thing. Don't use my stories. Go ask your people them or ask the people them to send you some stories and do that, but don't use my stories. Like be respectful to the people them that sent in their stories. Please and thank you. I'm asking. So I just have to put that out there first. But as I was saying, moving right along. So I created titles. So the first story I'm gonna read, the title I created for it is called Crafting and Customer Drama. I read like the first one or two paragraphs or whatever, so that's how I'm able to title them or whatever. So let me get into it. And I apologize if I don't really read it the way I should, but as time goes, I'll get better. But anyway, this person, and I'm not putting in names or businesses, just for privacy purposes. So anyway, it says, it started as what I it started as what I thought would be a fun, exciting project. A customer ordered from a costume order from a customer who wanted a set of personalized tumblers. Hi Allison. I'm doing some business story times today. Please give me a like as you guys come in, please. I feel like I have to start over now. Okay. So it started as what I thought would be fun, exciting project. A custom order for a customer who wanted a set of personalized tumblers for her bridal party. She provided her initial specifications, color palette, charm option, and a general theme that aligned with her wedding. I was thrilled. Custom orders are a chance to flex my creativity, add extra detail, and provide something unique that the customer truly cherishes. I drafted sketches, picked materials, and even created a prototype of one tumbler to share. After I sent her the photos for her approval, the initial communication was friendly and enthusiastic. She seemed excited and eager to collaborate. I spent hours tweaking the prototype, making sure the colors were exactly right, the charms perfectly aligned, and the finish flawless. I loved the challenge and the opportunity to craft something special. I scheduled production around the timeline she provided, cleared my workspace for maximum efficiency, and even prepped extra items in case of mistakes. My standard precaution for large custom orders. Then the changes started. The customer decided she wanted a slightly different color scheme. Then another change, a new charm, a different font for the names, an additional glitter layer. Each adjustment added hours of work that hadn't originally accounted for. I tried to maintain patience, emphasizing communication and flexibility. But as the revisions piled up, the stress and frustration mounted. Weeks passed, and I was juggling her updates while continuing my regular production for other customers. Each message requesting a new tweak made my stomach sink, knowing that the hours of labor required were quickly surpassing the original quote. There were days when I felt torn. I wanted to please a customer, deliver exactly what she envisioned, and maintain my reputation as a reliable crafter. Yet, I also realized that the constant revisions were staining my schedule, and my mental energy. The line between accommodating the client and being exploited began to blur, leaving me questioning my own boundaries and the balance between customer satisfaction and self respect. After the fourth round of changes, I decided it was time to set firm boundaries. I politely explained that while I could accommodate one final revision, further changes would require additional charges. Hold on, sorry, I lost where I was. Okay. Additional charges to account for the extra labor and materials. I framed it in a professional, respectful way, highlighting that my goal was to deliver a high quality product that matched her vision while also ensuring fairness for my time and effort. Surprisingly, the customer agreed to the terms, understanding that her requests were impacting production. I completed the order within a new parameter, ensuring every tumbler was flawless, personalized, and ready for delivery on time. The end was beautiful. The tumblers matched her wedding theme perfectly, and the glitter and charm sparked until underneath the light, and the personalization was precise. Despite the stressful process, I was proud of my ability to adapt, communicate boundaries, and deliver a product that exceeded expectations while protecting my own time and resources. By the time the order was delivered, hold on, I clicked something. Okay. I had learned a few critical lessons. First, always establish clear boundaries and revise limits before starting custom orders. Second, communicate the impact of changes on pricing and timelines upfront. And third, protect your time and creative energy is as important as satisfying the customer. The experience reminded me that running a small business requires a delicate balance between flexibility, professionalism, and self respect. The customer was thrilled with the final product, and I felt empowered by my ability to navigate a challenging situation without compromising quality or sanity. And now, this person wanted to ask the Royalty Fam. She said, well, she said, was I wrong to set limits on revisions, or was I right to protect my time and effort? And would you have handled the constant changes differently? Was I too firm, or just running my business with integrity? So, y'all that's here can answer that in the comment section if you like. Me personally, I respect her, honestly. I respect her patience and her professionalism. I had to deal with this so many different times. Like, I remember, and I said this on my last live, or a live. I had the same instance, the same thing where like somebody asked me to create an AI image, and it's like it took so much out of me because like I created one and she asked for a specific thing, and then when I gave it to her she was just like, nah, that's not what I want, basically, like, like it's too much. And it's like I had to keep toning down, tone it down until I finally found like that balance, until she was like, okay, yes, this is the one. But it takes so much. Like when you do customized things, the revisions are crazy. That's why me personally, like on days where I have slow days and I don't really have much to do, I would do me some customized orders. And sometimes, like, the people closer to me would ask me. In that case, I don't mind. Because. But in, like, whole to offer that type of service and say, yes, I'm going to do customization, I couldn't do that. Because it takes more. I prefer to create my product and people come and see it, and it's either you like it or you don't. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, and buts. And it's gonna come in whatever colors you could pick from the colors or that type of stuff. Yeah, right, Allison. It is tough. Like I don't know. I couldn't. I couldn't. So kudos for that person. Like if you see this, kudos to you because I personally I couldn't. Like that was a lot, and the fact that she was so patient with it, like she was very patient with it. And I say she because of the name that came with the email, so I know it's a she. Well, I'm hoping. Like I know people and pronouns and all these things. But anyway, yeah. For me, I don't know. It's a lot. That's a whole lot. But anyway. Anybody have anything else to say about it? Any more, any little any little advice or anything to this person? If not, we'll move on to the next story. I have to also get better into I have to get better into this. And honestly, reading this story, like I honestly didn't know what to expect because I didn't know she was gonna be like, listen, honey, you have to pay this. Because I have a friend that's also a business owner. They didn't send in a story, but I remember them telling me something similar to this incident. But they were just like, you know what? And this person was a construction worker and he built houses. Allison says, "Nah, that lady customer was doing too much." I'm saying. So this my friend, he does constructions, right? He does construct. He builds houses and stuff, and he was telling me the same thing that happened to him, but in the construction field. So they built a house for somebody. You know, it was him and his team. They built up the house and stuff, and they're in the inside doing the inside interior work, whatever you call that. I'm not familiar with the terms on it, but they're building the inside and whatever. And he was like, every time like this person will like, because they traveled a lot, so every time they traveled and went somewhere, because this is like take place back home in Jamaica, so every time this person would travel and go different places in the world and go to people's houses and see like something that he's so ooh and ah, like, oh my god, this is crazy, he will come back and tell them like, okay, so change this and do this, like, you know. And the last straw he said that he had was the staircase. Like, he wanted the staircase a specific way. They built the house and built up the staircase that way. He wanted it straight down. He went somewhere and he saw a spiral staircase, right? So they had to redo everything. And he was like, a work that should have took X amount of time is now dragging on. Like, you know, and he well want to finish to move on to a different project. But the person was like, I want a spiral thing. So he was like, all right, bet, I will do that. So he did that. When it was done, he saw something else and he came back and he's like, no, 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 change it, do this. And he was telling the person, like, listen, like, you can't be doing that. You know, like, this is hard. This is a lot of work we're putting in here. And like, and the person was just like, you know, it's my money and I'm the one spending and blah blah blah. Honestly, him telling me the story, I was like so upset for him. I'm like, brother, give the people them back there. Like, well, take what you've done for the work and tell them to find somebody else to finish it. Cause I would have been like, listen, pay me for what I've done right now. Any other adjustments you have, you know, find somebody else. But he was just like, you know, he don't mind. Like, it bothered him, obviously, because he was talking about it. But he was just like, he's just adding to the tab. And I'm like, but does this person know that there's a built up tab? Because their requests, they seem to feel like it's all inclusive, like everything is added into what it is. Hi, Miss Hartley, how are you? I'm doing story times right now. I just completed the story, so we're just talking about that. I'm about to move on to the next story right now. Coming in, can you please give me a like? Please and thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next story. Yeah, so this one I called it the time my card reader died at the market. So this one starts. It says, it was one of those mornings where everything felt just right. Crisp air, sunlight hitting, oh sorry, sunlight hitting my booth perfectly. The smell of fresh coffee wafting from the stand next door, and the faint hum of the early crowd buzzing through the fairgrounds. I had spent hours the night before meticulously arranging my handmade tumblers, my earrings, my bracelets, so that each item felt intentional, aesthetically pleasing and ready to catch the eye of passerby. Every item had a little story, a signature touch. The beads I hadn't picked for one bracelet, the carefully selected yarn for a set of earrings, the perfectly applied shimmer on a tumbler that caught the light just right. My business is small, yes, but I take enormous pride in every piece. And I've learned over the years that presentation is as much as part of the craft as the creation itself. That is true. That's so, so, so true. I had mentally mapped out the customer flow, rehearsed how I would greet familiar faces, and even planned a few quick conversation starters for anyone hovering or seemingly undecided. I was calm, confident, and ready to have a great day, fully aware that craft fairs are as much about building relationships as they are about selling products. Nothing could have prepared me, however, for the moment when my carefully laid plans hit a wall in the form of a dead card reader. Allison says, I referenced you in my life today. I tagged you on my reply. Okay. The first customer of the day, a sweet old lady who had already spent a few minutes admiring my tumblers, reached for her card, smiled, and handed it to me. I swiped. Nothing. My card reader froze mid transaction. honestly, like, I think this is one of my biggest fears of doing a craft fair. Like, something malfunctioning, especially like a card reader, because it's always like, oh man, how are these customers going to look at me? Like, are they gonna be like, you know what, forget about it and leave, or are they gonna be kind enough to be like, oh, don't worry, I passed the bank machine, or do you know where there any bank machines are? And another thing too, if anybody's going to a craft fair, I feel like that's something you should get to know. Like, get to familiarize with where the bank machines are in case something like this happens, so you can redirect them, and that's if they're willing to go, you know. But anyways, I tried unplugging it, reconnecting, rebooting, and even muttering desperate little prayers under my breath. But nothing worked. The line behind her began to grow. The humming, excitement of the crowd felt like it was turning into a pressure cooker. Each passing minute made me more aware of the glaring vulnerability. My sales, my reputation, and even my pride were all hanging by the thread of this tiny, uncooperative device. I could feel my hands shake as I tried to type in a workaround, realizing that cash payments were possible. Yes, but I wasn't carrying enough small bills for the amount of traffic I expected that day. That's another no-no. Like, the one thing they always tell you is like to always make sure that you have, when you're doing craft fairs, you always have to have a good amount of, you know, cash. Like, make sure you have the 100, the 50s, the 20s, or whatever, enough little change. Because I, from working in retail my whole entire, well, not my whole entire existence, but for a good little while, yes, it's a story. Yes, Hartley, it's a story. Yeah, from learning, from these things, I've learned that people are impatient, and if you're not ready at the moment, they'll just leave. Now, to your volume is going up and down. You are coming in and out. Oh gosh, hold on. Ooh, let me plug this out. I don't know if it's because my phone. Oh, sorry. Let me try to plug in. And craps, my speakers are dead. Could you hear me better though? Am I better? Am I better? Am I better? Maybe I have to raise my voice a little bit. I swear I need a new phone because there's always something to do. Every time I do something, it's always something with the volume with this phone. Like, let me live now. Jeez, But are you guys hearing me better? Do I have to raise my voice a little bit more? Yes, no, maybe so. Is my voice completely gone? Okay, I see a smile, so I'm guessing I'm better now. I hear you. Okay, good. Okay, I can hear you, but a little low. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's because my phone is getting overheated or I don't know what it is. And I can't find my mics. I cannot find my mic. I can't find my mic. Um, Let me see if, oh, I don't know if this one is gonna work. Give me 1 second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Uh-oh. I'm making a hot mess. Okay. Let me see if this would help out. Try to plug this bad boy in. I'm gonna look a little weird. Oh, can you guys still hear me? Am I still good? Am I still good? Am I still good? Could you guys hear with this mic? Perfect. Is it like loud and clear or is it low? I don't know if I should keep it or lose it. Keep going, baby. It's okay. I just want to let you know. Okay. I just want to make sure that it's good for everybody else coming in because although you are understanding, everybody else in here is understanding. I don't know if everybody else that's coming in is going to be the same. Okay. So let's carry on. Where was I? Okay, so I could feel my hands shake as I tried to type in a workaround, realizing that cash payments were possible. Yes, but I wasn't carrying enough small bills for the amount of traffic I expected that day. My brain raced through the logistics. Should I call the company, abandon the transaction, hope that no one noticed, or try to make do with Vimo and PayPal QR codes? On my way, karate, two devices running. Thank you. I could see the sweet woman's expression shift from patient curiosity to awkward concern, as if she somehow knew I was about to implode silently. And then the judgmental stares from a few onlookers who had paused mid step to watch this unfold. I felt trapped between customer expectation, technological failure, and my own rising panic. It was one of those moments where time slows down and everything you've worked for suddenly seems fragile and uncertain. I quickly grabbed a bold marker and a large poster board and scribbled, "Card reader dead. Vimo, PayPal, Cash App accepted. Cash is king." I stuck it front and center, right where every customer could see it before approaching the table. At first, I expected confusion or complaints. Instead, a curious thing happened. Customers started pulling out their phones, scanning QR codes, asking how Vimo works, and even joking about tipping me in a coffee gift card to make up for the inconvenience. The energy around the table shifted. What began as panic became interactive and almost playful. Some of the younger customers, who had been hesitant to ask questions before, became interested in seeing the items, asking about the materials and sharing their own craft stories. I found myself explaining, narrate, narr, narrating. Sorry, I can't say that. But you guys know, and laughing along with them, all while keeping the flow of the table going. Slowly, the line began to move, and the initial tension dissolved. By the end of the day, my sales had actually increased compared to previous events. The dead card reader, which had threatened to ruin the morning, became a kind of unexpected icebreaker, drawing attention and prompting conversation that might never have happened under smooth, uneventful circumstances. By the time I packed up that evening, I realized I had learned three critical lessons in rapid succession. First, always have a backup payment system. That's what I said earlier. Well, kinda. I said have more money. But yeah, that one's a good one too. Even it seems redundant. Second, technology failures, while stressful, can unexpectedly enhance human interaction when handled creatively. And a third, staying calm and resourceful in the face of chaos not only preserves your reputation, but can even increase engagement and sales. That day, I had turned what could have been a disaster into a story I now tell at every market. And now that she sent it to me, often, often promoting laughter and knobs of understanding from fellow makers. Looking back, I can almost feel the adrenaline that spiked in those early moments, a mix of fear and determination that forced me to adapt on the flyer. I don't know if she meant to say on the spot, but okay. It reminded me once again why I love small business life, the unpredictability, the personal connection, and the constant challenge of turning obstacles into opportunities. And then the question that this person is asking, would you have panic like I did, or stay as calm and creative in the moment? Was I overthinking, or was I right to improvise so drastically under pressure? Hartley says stay calm, always have a backup system. And Allison said yes, backup. Miss Hartley says, what a great story. It worked out beautifully, right? I think the stories I got, I don't know if the third, I hope the third one's going to be the same, but so far these stories I got had very positive endings. I always ask people like to ask questions because I wanted to do it. I wanted my thing to be like the Reddit stories where they're always asking the audience like some kind of question. But yeah, honestly, the way how like I have such bad anxiety, I feel like for me personally, I would have had like a panic attack. I would have had a panic attack, but I feel like briefly, because I would try my best to control and stuff. But I don't think like, which is terrible, and I think that's why I kind of like, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say, well, kind of fearful when it comes to like doing markets. Although I did apply for some this summer, but that didn't work out. But I decided to conquer my fear, but it's one of the fears I do have, like how I would deal with these unexpected failures, because it's crazy. Like, and especially like for me, like I always feel like things need to be perfect and I want it to be perfect type of thing. So it's like if this happened, like it's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. what can I do? Or I probably just end up laughing like hysterically, like just I don't know, something in that nature. But anyway, let's move on to the next story. So this one starts, it says, so I was at a weekend craft fair. My little booth all set up with handmade polymer earrings, bracelets, and t-shirts for good measures. The table looked great. Signage, cute displays, neatly arranged stock. I was feeling confident, hoping for a great day. Thank you, Miss Hartley. People were browsing, chatting, picking up peace. And this is the last story, guys. And then we can have our little chats in the comment section. Complimenting the work. It was the usual mix of excitement and curiosity that comes with the live events. And then the moment a customer picked up a pair of earrings that were $25 clay earrings and looked at them like I just asked for a mortgage. And this is in brackets, so I'm assuming this is what the customer said to her. So the customer said, Walmart has a whole pack for $4. The person said, dead serious. Can you match that? She said, I froze for a second. Did they just ask me to compete with a mass produced, factory made discount store item? My brain ran through all the working hours selecting yarns, designing patterns, crocheting, finishing, packaging, not to mention the blood, sweat, and tears I'd pour into each piece. I smiled politely and said, if you want Walmart quality, Walmart is right down the street. I'm sorry. I can't tell stories for the life of me. No, that's hilarious. Like, oh man. She ate that up. She ate that up. Okay, let me continue. Sorry. She said, you did a great. Oh, sorry. If you want Walmart quality, Walmart is right down the street. They look shocked, like I had personally assaulted them. Some other customers had stopped and were staring, curious how this would unfold. My face flushed a little, a mix of embarrassment and stubborn pride. They tried to push it further. Come on, it's basically the same thing. I took a deep breath. Allison said no, they didn't. Oh, it was a comeback for me. They tried to push it further. Come on, it's basically the same thing. I took a deep breath, repeated my price, and refused to negotiate with mass market logic. I focused on my other customers, highlighting the handmade quality, unique designs, and story behind each piece. I I shared a little behind the scenes how each earrings was crocheted individually, how the beads were hand selected, how the patterns were original, and people started asking questions, complimenting the work, and taking photos. The Walmart customer huffed. The Walmart customer huffed and left my booth and muttered something about overpriced nonsense. I let them go. I reminded myself that my target audience isn't bargain hunters. I'm sorry. It's people who value craftsmanship, originality, and the story behind a handmade item. Oh, she handled that very good. Like she handled that very good. I don't know how to act. Like I'll try to have some kind of professionalism, but I don't. Oh, anyway, we'll talk about it after. Let me finish. Anyway, by the end of the day, I had several sales, compliments, and new followers. The attempt to undermine my pricing ended up highlighting why people chose handmade over mass produced items. I walked away proud, laughing a little at the audacity of some customers and more confident in my pricing. The lesson I learned, not everyone will understand the value of handmade work, and that's okay. Stick to your worth. And the question that this person is asking was I rude for refusing to match a Walmart price, or was it right to defend the value of my craft? Honestly, defend the value of your craft. Because, right? How to, like, you can never, honestly, to be honest with you, like, When I first started, and I made a video of this because it messed me up. It was so hard to make a profit because like I always felt the need for to please my customers. Like, you know, like the price of the item, the shipping, like all these extra and like expenses that you have to put into your products, and including the work. Because in the beginning, I wasn't even charging for my work. Like, you know what I mean? My time. And it's like, I felt like, oh man, like, is this person gonna feel like it's overpriced? And I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, I tried to do some Shein and some Walmart prices, but I quickly learned that all that does is it puts you in the negative. Like, you lost money. It's like basically you could just pack up your things and go stand in the middle of somewhere and just hand out your products for free because that's what you were doing. Like, you know what I mean? Because the expenses that it took to order and everything all in one, and all the little workloads and the long nights and stuff that you put into it, it's like it goes down the drain when you actually lower your price to please customers. And people don't understand that. And don't get me wrong, like I do feel like sometimes there are some businesses that really do like take it to the max, right? Because ain't no way one hat should cost $500. Like I feel like that's you're paying yourself a little bit too well there, honey. Because I know that hat was not that dear. Like stuff like that. I'm like, okay, pipe down. Like, you know, but $25 for handcrafted earrings is actually pretty good because when you look at like the name brands, and this is another reason too why I quickly learned to price my worth, because I start to realize that like you go and buy a Louis Vuitton earring, if they had earrings. I don't know if they have earrings, but I know the price would have been like in their 2000s. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've seen like name brand products where the earrings and everything is like off the chain. Like look at a little coin purse at Louis is like 3 grand, 5 grand, those type of prices. A little coin purse, and it's like people will go to a small business and see that. Well, obviously not with the same design, but a good quality coin purse, and then the small business will be selling it for like $30 or $50, and they'll be like, ah, that's so expensive. And then they will come with the Walmart because people are always trying to tell you where they see it cheaper. I had somebody leave a comment like that. When I was doing a shorts and I was um showing off. I don't know. I was doing a shorts. I was about my tumblers, and somebody came in my comment section. And it was a bot, but even if it was a real person, still they were like, I remember. I don't remember the exact comment word for word, but they were like, that tumbler came from Shein. And I was like, dang, Shein be selling tumblers? So, you know, I had to go investigate and look. And I'm like, Shein don't sell no darn tumblers. But people just like to talk. They just like to talk. And I went back and I said, well, when you see it on Shein, because I've been looking, I ain't seen none. But when you see it on Shein, holla back. Come back and let me know. It's hot dang. Right? 500 is pushing it. 500 is pushing it. Because me personally, like, before I found like a formula to price my stuff and stuff, the way I used to price stuff is I used to like Google, like, for instance, like this hat that I created, like, I wouldn't have an idea. Like, I know, like, I would have to add the price, like, you know, times two of the product, and then, you know, all these little things and whatever, like, you know, add everything up and whatever. But I've never like really knew how to price in terms of like putting in the my hours, like, you know, to pay myself. And on top of it, I also wanted to mediate between like the price I'm coming up with and the price that is already out there, my competition or competitors, like, you know what I mean? So I always Google, and sometimes like I would want to price my hat like for like a $20, like, you know, like, just for instance. So it's not $20, but just for instance, we'll just go for that. And you go, and then you go to, like, you know, you do some Google searches and you see like a hat for 500, and it's like, and kid you not, even though we think like 500 is a stretch, that person will probably have like 1,000 sales. Have like 1,000 sales and stuff, and I'll be like, what the heck? But that's what made me realize that I was underpricing, and it's okay to price your worth. Like, you know what I mean? Don't get carried away. Like, I don't think I'll ever price my hat 500 unless I had like some real type of gold, something or something that's, you know, something that would actually boost up the price. And I know said the quality is gonna last for a lifetime. And even then, like 500 is still a stretch. But yeah, I don't know. People get brains. People are get bright brains. And you have to have some real strong backbones, some real strong backbones to do small business and deal with customer service all the time. Because one thing I know for sure, people are very bold and brave. Audacity is always at an all-time high, and somebody always want to tell you how to run your prices. Hi Simone, you just missed my story times, but maybe we can catch it on the time. I did 3 story times, so we're just discussing it now. Well, yeah, somebody's always trying to tell you how to run your prices, and it's like you're not putting in the work. And one thing I've learned is I've never seen somebody's effort and judge the price tag they place on it. Even though, like I said, sometimes I might think like, "Wow, you're pushing," but honestly, I don't know like how long it took a person to do something or anything like that, because I've learned over time like never judge or don't don't try to tell a person what they do until you walk in their footsteps, because there's a lot of times like I would be looking at a certain like, you know, profession, and I'll be like, they ain't doing nothing, like you ain't gotta act like that or whatever the case is. And then later on down I end up in that same profession and I'm like, okay, I get it now. I get it. Like, you know, so the same thing when it comes to like small business and crafting and stuff like that. Me personally, there's so many times like I'm up at like 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning crafting and trying to get things together. Like, you know what I mean? So for me to price something and somebody tell me like, oh, that's too expensive, I'm just like, you want to do the work for me? I can teach you and you can do it for me. Like, you know what I mean? And then we can lower the price. Again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everybody coming in. I put in the mic and I don't know what it is. I think it's my phone or whatever the case is. I put the mic in and it was better, but I guess now it's low again. I don't know what to do. It's just my phone. I apologize. Ooh, and I didn't say for everybody that is here and everybody coming in and people in the back. Thank you for coming and joining my live. And for everyone that's in here, how did you guys enjoy the story times? Are you guys looking forward to more story times? Should I do? Because okay, these like stories were 42 minutes, which is not bad. But should I be doing more than 3? I'm also thinking of doing rants. My kagwan. It's still low. Okay, let me plug it out. Hold on. I'm trying not to disrupt my thing. Is it better? I plugged out the mic. I think I'm gonna try. I have to find my other mics. Yeah, I have to find my other mics. I don't know what I did with them, to be honest. I don't know what I did with them. I have to find the other mics. 3 or 4. Yeah, cause this was 3. This was 3 stories that I did. Okay, great. Hopefully it stays that way. I have to try not to touch the phone or nothing. This was yeah, 3 stories that I did, and it was 42 minutes. But I also like I was trying to calculate like, you know, discussion time and talking about the thank you Simone, talking about the story and stuff like that. So I try to fracture that in. But I'm like, if I'm gonna be doing, I don't honestly, I don't think I wanna. I don't. I'm debating the 2 hour lives. I'm debating the 2 hour lives. Cause at first when I first started, I'm like, yeah, I want to do 2 hours. But because I realized that like YT, they like when you're streaming longer. You know, and streaming is meant to be like long. It's not meant to be like 5 minutes and 10 minutes. Like if that's what you can do, that's what you can do. But from what I realize, you know, YT likes when it's long. Like, you know, the longer your stream is, it seems like the more it pushes out. Even though for me, I know based on the policies or whatever that they have, like my streams are getting pushed out. Like, you know, but it's not gonna get any massive type of audience. anytime soon because I think under 1,000 they don't really push it too far according to them due to security reasons and safety and but okay, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm debating. I'm like, should I do like an hour live or like an hour and 30 minutes? So I feel like maybe three, because if maybe 4 stories. I think I'm gonna start pre-reading them though, because I want to mix it up. I want to mix it up because I did get stories from like small business and then creatives and like I said, people in communities and stuff like that. Yeah. But how did you guys like it for those that was here so far? My favorite was the last one, to be honest. That redirect, that was everything. That was everything. I feel like that's something I would have said low key, maybe not in that exact way. I would have been something like, if you want to shop at Walmart, honey, you could have went to Walmart. Something like that I would have said. I don't know. Something in that nature. Or I don't know. Something. I don't know. But people are presumptuous. I love it. I love these stories. I personally haven't had any really I don't have any bad stories. I like them, but the lady talking about $4, right? For customized earrings. And honestly, like I haven't really when I go to Walmart, I don't really go into the clothes section and like the jewelry section to be honest. For me, like I live in the craft section in Walmart and the household section and electronics. Those are my little, So I don't know how much the earrings are, but I'm pretty certain that Walmart don't be having no earrings for no $4. That would be more like the dollar store. And the way how the dollar store prices are hiking up these days, I doubt that they even have any $4 earrings. I would have told that lady. I also said I would have told that lady, this is not Walmart, right? Like, why would you do that? I don't like when people do that. Like, you're here at my boutique. This is Novelty Queens boutique. You tell me about Walmart that's already well established and get their items and their prices very very cheap. And people have to understand too when it comes to small business, we don't get our products because we can't. As a small business owner, you don't have the funds to be getting a whole um a whole production line of products. Like you know what I mean? Like we don't have that type of inventory money. We don't have that. We have to work with the little bit that we have. We have to build slowly, and it takes time. So when we're ordering products, like the MO, the minimum order quantity, the MOQ that they normally give small business is maybe like 10, depending, and depends if you can find a good vendor. Like you know what I mean? And each of those products is gonna be a lot. Like one dress could all be like a $40, and that's the wholesale price that they're offering a small business. Like, you know what I mean? And especially, I realize when you're, like, for me in Canada, the wholesale prices that we get is way more than if you're ordering from, like, Caribbeans or from America. I don't know why that is. Like, I remember when I used to look for, like, vendors and stuff, and I would see, like, a dress, and it'll be, like, $5 wholesale price each dress. And I'll be like, yes, yes, okay. And then they'll ask you to log in and whatever the case is, and you'll create your local account and stuff to order. But then when it converts to Canadian, it's like $30. It's like, how do you jump from $4 to $30? Like I know the currency's not that strong. Like oh you come by, like where you get that price from? It's like are you spiting me because I'm Canadian? Like that's so messed up. You know what I mean? That's so messed up. But people have to realize that it's hard being a small business owner sometimes, especially with all these unnecessary challenges and stuff. Oh, and I didn't even ask you guys, how you guys doing? How y'all doing? How was your day? How was your day? And if you guys have any story time as well, for those coming in, if you guys have any story time business story times. I'm trying to make this like a business related type of thing. Hey, pretty hearts. How are you? Pretty Heart says hello, Queen and chat. She's hailing up the chat. So if you guys have like any like business related like story times, my email is in the description, so you guys can send your story there as well if you guys want to join in. I'm not going to be telling your names and your business names and stuff like that because I don't want like the internet hunting down nobody, because the internet's wild. All you have to do is add two initials and for some reason they could put that together and find you. Like, how? It could be something as simple as like the tip of your glasses that shows like no face, no nothing, and for some reason they find you. Like, be crazy. So pretty hard. We had story time. Um, maybe I yeah. We had story time. You guys missed it. I'm sorry. Let me actually. You know what? Maybe I'll do one more. Let me see. Let me go into. Give me 1 second. Let me go into my email and find one, so y'all could get the drift of the stories that I just did. Give me 2 seconds. I have to go through all these. Um, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'm trying to find the stories I haven't read as yet. In the meantime, y'all could, discuss in the comment section. Don't leave me though. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me find. Um, okay, I got one. Okay, I found one. Okay, I didn't have a title for this one as yet. I'm sorry, because this was just in the email. I didn't have time to set this up, but I'm gonna read it for you guys. Okay, so, okay, running a small handmade business from home has its perks: flexibility, creative freedom, and the comfort of working in your own space. But it also comes with unexpected challenges, especially when you live in a community that isn't always tuned in to the realities of craft based businesses. I had just moved into a cozy townhouse, excited to set up my home studio, which doubled as my office and production space. Wait, sis, are you seeing my comments? Oh, I seen that one. Did you send something else? I'm seeing your comments, Simone. Okay, ready? I shared you open. Thank you. Okay, where was I? Oh, I had just moved into a cozy townhouse, excited to set up my home studio, which doubled as my office and production space. I spent hours selecting the right tools: a high speed sewing machine, a small but precise bead drill, and other equipment that allowed me to work efficiently while still producing top quality handmade items. On a typical morning, I would brew a strong cup of coffee, set up my workstation, and spend hours immersed in stitching, beading, or assembling products for upcoming orders. The rhythmic clatter of tools, while satisfying to me, sometimes carried beyond my walls. One Thursday morning, as I was testing a new bracelet design that required repeated hammering of tiny charms into place. Dang, what kind of bracelet y'all make? I heard a knock at the door. Standing there was my neighbor, red faced and flustered, explaining that the constant banging and hammering was disturbing her peace. She claimed that the noise was unacceptable and demanded that I stop immediately or face complaints to the building management. Dang, this is a real Karen. I felt a rush of conflicting emotions: embarrassment, frustration, and a strange mix of guilt, even though I had moved in knowing my space would serve as my creative studio. I tried to explain that my work was my livelihood, that the noise was part of producing handmade items, and that I had taken measures to minimize disruption, including soundproofing mats and working during reasonable hours. She wasn't having it. The conversation quickly escalated into a tense discussion about consideration, property rules, and respecting neighbors. I felt cornered, realized that this issue could spiral into formal complaints that might jeopardize my ability to work from home. For hours afterwards, I walked around my studio imagining every scenario: management involvement, having to relocate, even losing clients due to interruptions if I couldn't work. My creativity felt stifled. My usually joyful production turned into a stressful exercise in restraint. I tried researching local bylaws, reading advice from other home-based entrepreneurs, and brainstorming solutions, but nothing seemed perfect. Each hammer strike on my bracelet echoed in my mind as a symbol of tension between my business needs and the expectations of my community. The frustration compounded because I love my neighborly community and wanted to maintain a peaceful relationship. Yet I also could not compromise my ability to run my business effectively. After a day, I research and reflect. I research After a day of research and reflection, I devised a plan that balanced both sides. I invested in additional soundproofing for my workstation, scheduled my louder tasks during hours that minimized disruption, and personally apologized to my neighbor while explaining my business operations and goals. Honestly, okay, we'll I'll continue. I even invited her to see the creative process firsthand, hoping that transparency would foster understanding. Remarkably, it worked. Okay, good on you. I guess the neighbor wasn't that much of a Karen. The neighbor's complaint decreased significantly after she saw the care and professionalism behind my work and felt empowered by taking a proactive, solution focused approach. I also realized that communication was key. By keeping neighbors informed and being intentional about minimizing disruption, I could continue producing handmade items without guilt or tension. The process taught me not only particular lessons about home business logistics, but also the emotional intelligence needed to navigate community relationships while protecting my livelihood. By the end of the month, I had established a routine that allowed me to work efficiently while maintaining a good relations while maintaining good relations with my neighbors. My production increased, customer satisfaction remained high, and my mental health improved because I no longer felt constant stress over noise complaints. The experience taught me three key lessons. First, running a home based business requires proactive communication and planning. Second, creative problem solving extends beyond craft. It applies to relationships and logistics. And third, boundaries, transparency, and empathy are critical when balancing personal and professional life. This incident reminded me that small business isn't just about products, it's about people, processes, and the art of compromise. And the question they asked was I wrong to continue working in my home studio despite the complaints? Or was I right to find a solution that protected my business while respecting my neighbor? And how would you have handled this situation? Hi, King. Thank you for coming in. Honestly, 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 I don't know what kind of bracelet she am making on that she has to be hammering that. Because you really don't need to be hammering unless she's like making the bracelets. Actually, she could be making them from scratch. Because I used to follow a female that she created her own handmade bracelets from like home, and there was a lot going into it and bending and hammering and the tools and all that type of stuff. So it could have been one of those type of things. Um, my bead bracelets, thank goodness, are they're very quiet. They don't have that much hassle when you check it out, which I'm very grateful for. But in reality, like I feel like if you're gonna move into a certain place and like you're like you work from home and it's gonna be noisy, I feel like you need to go into like a detached townhome. That way you have the flexibility of making noise and you don't have the neighbors being bothered. Unless like you're just making that much noise where they can still hear you from afar. And me, I'm so grateful because I live in a townhouse and my neighbors are great. Like when I have to make a little noise, nobody bothers. Nobody's making no fuss, no nothing, no knocks, no nothing. And when they make a little noise, it is what it is. Like you know what I mean? But that's crazy. That's Crazy. I'm glad it worked out for her though, because most people, it wouldn't have turned out like that. They would have to move like immediately. I feel like that's just as bad as like having children that make up a lot of noise and you live in like a like when they have the houses where you rent upstairs and somebody rents downstairs and like the kids are upstairs and they're constantly running and whatever. And it's like some people are good with that and some people would have been like, nah, you got to go, like I'm gonna get you out, they're gonna push to get you out or something like that, you know what I mean? So I am glad that worked out for her. I'm glad, but I still want to know, like, yeah, I hope she has a YouTube. I'm gonna ask her if she has a YouTube because I want to see that process. I need to see what you be over there doing. I need to see, cause that be some crazy, crazy stuff. Hi, King Grayson. How are you? And welcome in. Thank you for joining my live. I'm doing story times. Yeah, this was his fourth story. I just found one because a lot of people that came in missed the ones that, I had going earlier before more people came in. Oh, we. Allison said, oh, we. Ooh, wee. Yeah, I think that's what you meant. That's what that is. You're supposed to read like that. Yes, I told my kids no running. Yeah, sometimes it's hard though. Because when I used to babysit my nieces and nephews, they have like an arrangement like that where they rent upstairs and then there's neighbors downstairs. The only problem with that was the neighbors, they work night shift. They work night shift, and my nieces and nephews, like, they be running throughout the house, like, ah, and all over, little pat, pat, pat here. But what their mom would do is she'll tell them, and like, she'll let me know too. She'll say, if they want to run up and down, let them go upstairs, because when they're upstairs, it doesn't, the sound doesn't, vibrate so much downstairs. Like, the neighbors aren't, it doesn't bother them that much. But then I also would like, I try to take them out, like, you know what I mean? Take them to the park and let them be able to like run around and get it out their system or whatever the case is to kind of help the situation. But sometimes it's hard when you have kids. Sometimes it's hard. It's very, very hard. Like I was so happy like when I moved here, my kids were young, but they weren't like that young, they weren't at the age where they were running up and down and making them noise and stuff type. But I moved here because I wanted them to have that freedom to do so if they please without like somebody complaining from above or below like, "Oh my gosh, you're too noisy. Your kids are making too much noise." I couldn't manage. I couldn't manage. Kids should be kids. And unfortunately, yeah, it affects some people or whatever, but I feel like for me, like when it comes to kids, just take them outside. But as a small business, I don't know what your solution would be for that. Like you might have to pipe down and get a quieter, start a quieter business ventures. Yeah, start quieter business ventures. I think what's the noisiest thing for me? Actually, I don't have nothing that makes noise. I don't have nothing that makes noise because my Cricut machine is it's not that loud. It doesn't make that much noise. My tumbler press, like nothing. Yeah, nothing I do makes that noise. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful. I get to work in peace in my little small area. Have you guys ever had any issues like that, like with working or anything like that? Outside of like the kids drama, but have you guys ever like any kind of drama like that in terms of your small business if you guys have or your creative space or like a little task? Have y'all? And who's still here with me? Put like a heart or something in the comment section so I know. I feel like for me, like I can't see, and it's so weird because when I come off and you see like how it shows you that preview of your live when you come off, like while I'm on live, I'll see like a two followers or something, and I feel comfortable with that because I'm just like, or a four. Like right now it says four, and I'm like, okay, like But then when I come off, I see like there was like 100 people viewing, and it's like, where y'all come from? Like I've never seen that. That kind of makes me get like a little nervous. I don't know how I'll handle like If I was to get, I see, you know, when you scroll on some people's live and they have like 1,000 or 500 people in their live watching them, I'm always like, how are you guys doing it? They're so comfortable with it. They're just like, yeah, guys, and da 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 da. Or the guys will just be sitting back, chill, and just be talking and, you know, telling their local stories or whatever they're talking about. And it's like, I don't know if I can manage so much eyes on me. I'm happy, like, you know, with the people in the community I'm in right now. Because you get familiarized with, you know, with you guys and stuff like that. Have conversations and it's good vibes. But other people, I don't know y'all like that. I don't know y'all like that to be coming up in here. Not complaining, not complaining. I don't want to discourage nobody from coming up in here. Like, you know, somebody comes on and hear me say that and just exit one time. Because that's something I would do. Imagine going on somebody's live and you're here and I'm saying, like, I don't want you guys on here. Well, yeah, cool, but let me keep on scrolling. Let me find somebody who does. But yeah, that's it. I don't know again if there's any comments. Sorry, hold on. Look a sip of water. My handy dandy tumbler. I don't know if you guys are have comments. I found my last live. Everybody was commenting, and for some reason, like it just got stuck. It got stuck. But me personally, I'm the type of person when stuff like this happens, I don't want to come off and come on. Like if that happens, I'm just gonna come off. Just like, all right, thank y'all for your time. I appreciate y'all. But I think more so because it's like, if I come out, is there gonna be more people in here when I come back? You know, should I just take my little blessings on a run? Cruise with the ones that was here. I know that they did come, type of thing. Yeah, I think the chat definitely froze. Let me see if I could go on my next device and see what's going on. 2 seconds. I'll be out here telling y'all 2 seconds. And what y'all got going on with your channels? Like, what do you guys have? Any upcoming anything in September? Oh, that's odd. Hmm. It doesn't even show me that I'm live. Look at it. I swear normally like the little live icon will pop up. Or do I have to go? Let me see if I have. Maybe I have to switch or something. But I swear like, thank you. Also, what do you have going on for your channel for September? October is coming up. Do you guys do like Halloween and stuff? Are you guys into that? Because you know, like October, they have like what is it called? They have Spooktober. I think there's another name for it. Spooktober. There's I don't remember. There's a few more names. I think Spooktober is what the creative community calls it. I believe. Oh, Vlogmas. I think that's what October is called, Vlogmas. I think that is what the creative community calls it, or Spooktober, or is Spooktober the vlog? I don't remember, something like that. But do you guys do that stuff? I tried it last year. I think I only did like one video, or maybe it was just a thought. But I think I did one video. Yeah, I did two videos. I did two Halloween videos. Two Halloween designs. You see it on my homepage? I don't see it. Let me maybe hold on. I tell you what, for some reason when it comes to me and the tube, there's always something going on. It doesn't want to let me live. Like, holy, give me a break. Okay, I can see it when I switch over. I just can't see here. Okay, I can see all the comments now. I don't do Halloween, but I will be posting regularly. Okay, okay. Well, it's always good. You always make it your own. Always make it your own. Me personally, I don't celebrate. It's so weird for me because I don't really celebrate Halloween. I don't celebrate Halloween, but I would put out content relating to it for the people that do. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this year, like I'm gonna do a few more like Canva tutorials. Um, I feel like depending on how the story times are going and stuff like that, and how you guys are taking to it, and depending on how much feedback I get, because I'm gonna put on my Facebook page and my Instagram and everywhere else, because I want to do like spooky stories for business and crafters for October. Like, see if anybody has any spooky stories. So it depends on how the feedback for that is. I'm gonna ask the people I ask as well, see if they have any, because so far that's what I have to go off of is their stories. But I'm gonna put it on my social media and see if there's like anybody else that has anything to go. Allison says, I don't do Halloween, but okay, I read that. My birthday is in September in 2 weeks, but nothing special. Oh, okay. You're like me then. I don't celebrate my birthday either. I don't celebrate my birthday either. It just comes and goes. Oftentimes, like maybe like 6 months past or 3 months down the line, somebody will be like, "When's your birthday?" And I'll be like, "It's so and so," and they'll be like, "How come you didn't say anything that when in that month?" Because I don't care much for birthdays and stuff like that. For me, it's like another day. You know, the most I would do is like I would buy like a cake. I'll buy a cake. These last few years, since my children are older, they know I don't really care to celebrate. I celebrate theirs. I just don't celebrate mine. So what they've been doing, like they'll buy me cakes, and they'll buy me a cake and stuff because they know that's what I like. They'll buy me a cake, and we'll all sit down and eat it. And that's what I do for my birthday. Cause I don't know. Birthdays to me is like another day. I'm just grateful that I lived to see that day, and that's about it. That's about it. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around like what content I want to put out. I kind of have some ideas still. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want nobody to first me. Try to reassess my content that I brainstormed. Thank you so. But I'm going to. Oh, and if any of you guys want to come up and join me for my last little time up on here, feel free. I post the link on my community tab and stuff. So if you guys have any little stories and stuff you guys want to come and share and talk about, feel free to come up and talk about the story. Feel free. I could visualize this going far. I could visualize having like thousands of people in here and people coming up and telling their stories and stuff. Because me, I love hearing stories. I love me some stories. I get so intrigued with stories. I hope some people send me some spicy stories. We need some spicy stories for next Tuesday, right, guys? We want some spicy. I feel like the spiciest one was the Walmart. I'll never. That's gonna live rent free in my mind. That's gonna live rent free in my mind. I need some more spicy ones like that. So far, it's like the good, good, good. But I need like the gritty. I need to get the those business owners that's very saucy. Their stories are gonna be good. I know it. Gonna be good. But honestly, so far, like the business owners I have, like they're very like patient and they're very polite and you know what I mean, very professional and stuff like that. And I love that. I also love that like my circle is filled with business owners. Like I have a friend, the one I'm always eating her cheesecake. I haven't been eating any lately. I'm going paint night tomorrow, so I'm gonna get some of her cheesecake. Hi Trinidad, welcome in. Yeah, I'm gonna get some of her cheesecake tomorrow. Hi Poetic, welcome in. My story time is finished. Thank you very much Trinidad for the like. I appreciate it. I did story time, but now I'm just mumbling, talking about other story times. If you guys have any story times for like any crafting story times or like small business story times, I linked my email where I would would like those, these stories to be sent in the description, so y'all could send it. And I think I have a few more story times that I have to go through. So we'll see, depending on how much. I'm not too sure how much it is, but if you guys have any, then chances are it might be next Tuesday or the Tuesday after. But this is gonna be my little regular thing. But right now we're talking about content for Vlogmas for October. Yes, my friend. Well, she owns a bakery. She owns a bakery. She opened up a little bakery. I always talk about her cheesecake because for me, like that's the greatest thing. But she has a bakery and she makes like cheesecake. I think that's like her specialty at this point because everybody loves her cheesecake. On Wednesdays when I'm going to paint night, I always have to call from in the morning and tell her I'm like, I'm coming to paint night. Please save me two or three or whatever amount of cheesecake I want. I'm always like, just save me this amount of cheesecake. Just put it aside because if she don't, it's gonna be gone. And she has like other little treats and stuff she sells. Her establishment is called Cookies and oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's called Cookies and Cupcakes. Yeah, Cookies and Cupcakes. Thank you for like. It's called Cookies and Cupcakes. And I have another friend. She does party favors, so she's into that type of business and stuff. Um, she she's so artistic. She Her stuff are great. I think one of these days I might show you guys. And my other friend, she has a spa. So normally I would go there like to do like my massages, and my daughter goes and gets her face done and stuff. And my daughter loves it over there. She's always talking about mom. Like the other day, she's like, "Mom, my face," because her name is V. It's face. Her establishment is called Face by V, and she's like, "Mom, my face, Mrs. V." Alice. Okay, let me see. Let me scroll up a bit. Let me scroll up. Okay, I read that. So Poetic says, "How are you?" I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I think I missed that. Sorry. And Allison Map says, "Hi Trinidad," and she says, "Hey Poetic." And Poetic says, "Hey Allison." And Trini says, "Allison, hello. How are you?" And Poetic says, "Allison, how far now?" And Simone is popping up with the hearts. Trini says, "Simone, honey, you good?" And Poetic Tear says, "Monetized." So I'm assuming, Poetic, you're asking Allison, like, are you asking her how far it is? How far is she from being monetized? Salam Kapas, how are you? I did a story time, so you guys might have to watch the replay if you guys want to get into that and leave some comments in the comment section. Right now, I'm just jibber jabbering. I'm jibber jabbering, holding conversation, and we're talking about October and if you celebrate Halloween or not, and if so, would you guys be participating in Spooky Spooktober or Vlogmas? Novelty, what's in the cup? It's just water, my dear. It's just water. It's just water. Oh, when I get home, I will check. Yesterday, I had 3,988. Oh, okay. Allison, when I come off, actually, while I'm here talking, let me go watch a playlist. Let me go put. I'm gonna put my device and set it to one of your playlists to just run while I'm here chatting off my mouths. um, hold on. Let me switch on over. Yes, cause we're waiting for the look of good news. Yes, guys. So I'm monetized. You want to hear that? Okay, let me find you. Sorry, I'm gonna get into the comment section in a few. Just watch us. So watch us. Just so watch us. Okay. Is there a particular playlist, Allison, that you prefer, or it doesn't matter? Well, see, you are something else. It's so funny because all the time. Okay, so that's you right there, Allison. Now, look, y'all have ads. You have ads pan channel. Sometimes I wonder, like, are the ads programmed based off of like the viewers, or is it just based off of what your channel is giving off? But yeah, I look at ads again. Look at water. Yeah, look at water. I wish it was local coconut water. That would do me so good right now. I miss back homes. Look at the cost of the coconut water. That would be so nice. Oh, shop with me are shorter. It don't matter. I'm gonna let it run on here, so I'm not gonna leave comments right now. I'm just gonna let it run on there, and then when I go back, like sometime and go back, I'll watch a 1 2 and leave a look at 1 2 comment. But for now, I'm just gonna let it run. So whether it's long or shots, irrelevant. Yeah, let me know if you see ads. Yeah, I see ads. I got two ads. As soon as I clicked on it, I got two ads. One was a was it? I can't remember now. GMC or something, and one was Wix. I run two for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Simone, are you doing October content? Are you doing? Does your kids do you celebrate Halloween? Like I know, is it okay to say Christian? Hey, Jason and Gina, how are you? Oh, hi Gina. I learned. See, I learned. Hi Gina. I remember Red said novelty. If it's purple hearts, it's Gina. What just happened? It just froze. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I did story time earlier. Story time is finished. I did 4 stories. Um, it's small business and craft and stuff like that based. But if you have any stories, you can send it in. I'm well. I hope you are too. I am. I'm doing good. I woke up on the good side of the bed today. You know, I woke up on the good side of the bed today. Like I woke up feeling so good today, which is odd because I swear I was having a nightmare or something. Because I wake up early. I woke up. I went to bed at 3 in the morning, and I woke up at 5. I stayed a little bit. I stayed awake for like an hour or two, but I was able to go back to sleep. And then I woke up at like 11. So because of that, my day went by so quick. And I feel like when you have something to do, like I know I had to do lives today, so I had so many little things to do in between and stuff. And then close to the time, get myself together. But then it was like the time was going so quick. Like when you have something to do, the day goes so fast. When you have nothing to do, it drags. Because trust me, like I didn't get to do much of anything. I started out a vlog, a studio vlog. I did like a little portion of it, and then by the time that was done, I had to go do this and do that, and then I had to take a shower and get myself together, find some clothes to wear on the live, and all this type of stuff. And then next thing you know, it was like 4:29. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, it's time to get all up on it. Oh, and Jason and Gina said about Gina. I got into the habit of saying Jason and Gina. Gina said greeting all. I'm sure y'all seen that, but just in case, just in case. Gina, do you celebrate Halloween? And are you doing Halloween content? And for those that don't celebrate Halloween, also yes, so true. Yeah. For those that don't celebrate Halloween, do you guys do Christmas? And if any of you guys are into like the crafting and stuff like that, is there any like tutorials that you guys want that you can do that you would like for me to do? Jason is here. We are on our way home. Okay, hi Jason. Yes. So you're doing Vlogtober. Are you gonna roll with the Vlogtober or the Spooktober? Because I know they have like various names. There's like depending. I feel like it depends on like the type of content you're putting out. They have like names for it. I feel like Vlogmas is the main one, but I feel like mostly creatives do the Vlogmas. Trini says hi Jason. We went to the Halloween parade in the Visual last year. We absolutely love it. Really? Honestly, the best thing for me about Halloween is look at Canada. Is the chocolates and the chips. Those are two things why I used to bring my kids out for Halloween. But the overall everything about Halloween, like I don't really care for it and stuff. And now that my kids are bigger, they don't do Halloween and we don't do Halloween. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold you guys. Like when it comes to the movies that they put out for Halloween, I be loving me those. Halloween, they give the best scary movies. And I love some scary movies. That's the only time. Well, Halloween and Christmas, because Christmas be giving some oldies but goodies. And I feel like every year from time, Home Alone has always been like that number one. And now they have Grinch. The Grinch Stole Christmas. But Home Alone, every year. And for some reason, I never get sick and tired of that. But yeah, I plan on doing some Halloween content myself. I'm just so lost in what I want to do. I'm so lost in what I want to do. I don't know if I should do. I'm thinking of doing some tutorials, doing some bracelets, something like that of that nature. We have videos. You have videos from your Halloween parade from last year? I'm gonna look for it. I love the aesthetics of your vlogs and your videos and stuff. They're like fun, especially honestly. I'm not gonna lie, like I love your Jamaican vlogs. Like for some reason, it just makes me feel like I'm home. You know what I mean? And I don't know why, but I have the tendency to always like every time I see your vlogs, I'm always there looking in the background to see if I have like I see look a friend or look a family. Or I'm like hoping I'm like I hope so and so pass by, Jason and Gina. They're vlogging. I was like, why can't I see this person or that person passing by? Especially when you're in Kingston. I'm like, yes, I know enough people there. Like, hopefully somebody's passing by. But I never see nobody. Sure. I should have told him to do road a lot that day. Well, even though I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't know that you're there vlogging. But it would have been nice. This is my first year, so I'm trying to figure this all out. I know Vlogmas will be more popular. Actually, Spooktober is popular too. Well, they call it spooky season. From last year, I've that's what I've noticed and stuff like that. I feel like for you, like, cause you do a lot of like shopping, like you have a lot of shopping, like some little Halloween shopping and stuff would be so nice. Gina says, "Oh, thank you. We appreciate that. That's the goal." Yeah, no, trust me, it does that for me. It does that for me, especially when you're eating the food, and I'm like, what's her reaction gonna be? Because I know one thing when it comes to the food never disappoints. But then you never know, because there could be like that one in the billion. But I know food never disappoints. And Africa, I liked your Africa one because honestly, like we, me personally, I have so much bias when it comes to Africa, but not like based off like my own, but because of what they fed. They fed us over the years of their perception of Africa and what it is and what it ain't. And they've never shown us the beauty of Africa. They always make it seem like, So when you did your vlog and you see all the little, little sightings and the hotel and stuff, and you're like, wait, so Africa move? That's what Africa's dealing with? Like, I'm glad for that. And also, like, the other vloggers, that's like the ones that live in Africa and stuff like that, that's showcasing the nicer sides of Africa and stuff. I'm just like, see word. And the beaches. And I'm like, advice if you're going to do Halloween content, try to post it that day. Like that day that I create the content, or like you mean like day in October, or you mean like, because me normally when I post content, I will post it and I'll let it sit for a minute. I'll put it on unlisted for a while. So do you mean like don't, as in like don't do that, just post it right away, like as soon as you do it, just post it type thing? Trini says he's taking notes. Yes, as you should take notes, yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Someone says my lovely Gina. I'll try to do that. I'll try to, yeah, okay, I'll try to do that. I'll try to make sure like every content I post is the same day as I post it and post that. I just have to sit down and come up. I kind of have a few ideas. I came up with these things. Let me show you guys. I was doing the vlog. I'm finishing the vlog, but it's not a finished thing, but I'll show you. Because the other day, I swear, like, when I can't sleep, those are when I'm, like, my creativity is at a peak, all-time high. So I came up with these cute little, chicks. I think they're so cute. Can you see it? I'm trying to figure out, like, a name for them. I only did two so far. So I'm thinking of doing something like this for like Halloween because I didn't use a mold for this. Non-creatives might not know what I'm talking about. I'm probably just rambling on, but for those that know, normally when you're making like resin pieces, you'll use molds. This I kind of just freestyle. I didn't use a mold, and I kind of have like a, yeah, right. It came out so cute. I was thinking, I'm like, should I give it a name? I want to give her a name. I want to give her a name, but I don't know what I'm gonna call this. I don't know. You guys want to help me come up with names for them? Any suggestions? It's gonna be I'm gonna turn this into bag charms, and I'm gonna make more and turn them into keychains. So I love it. Like, look at it. And I know that their little feet are not pink, it's orange, but to be honestly, I do have an Etsy account, but I don't use it. I don't sell on Etsy. I haven't gotten any sales on Etsy, come to think. But it's still there because they send me a statement every month. um, yeah, but me personally, I sell on WhatsApp. But unfortunately, or I should say this now, like I won't be selling to Americans, and the reason B is from the post I posted on my community tab. I keep like I made a I in the process I'm making a video after editing and stuff like that. But while I'm here, they have. I'm still listening. Thank you, pretty heart. So apparently, like Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump decided to go dig deep into the rabbit hole, and now when you're shipping anything like small business. I don't know about regular people, but as a small business, when you're shipping to America, there's certain fees now, extra fees that they charge you, and I'm not just talking about shipping fees, like import fees and stuff like that. And apparently, you have to pay those import fees before it leaves Toronto, and that's on everything, no matter the price. Because the other day it was um, over $100 and over, you pay exporting fees, the tariffs. But now it doesn't matter the price. It could be like a $5 item. It could be a $10 item. Like, you know what I mean? And those are gonna be very steep because it was already like shipping in Toronto itself is expensive, and shipping to American stuff was expensive already. So I'm just like, okay, so I won't be doing like the shipping thing to America. I'm sorry. I'm looking after my baby and listening, guys. Thank you, Simone. It's okay. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah. So because of that, like, yeah, I won't be shipping to America. And I find there's I see like small business owners from Canada that's popping up here and there that's saying the same thing, like they're not shipping. Like Trump needs to get with the program. Like why? Why? Why Trump? Why? Like you're already expensive already. I remember when I ordered the tumblers for my business, because my tumblers come from America. The tumblers itself was priced at $300 for 100 American dollars, which somehow turned into $800. Actually, it was like nine something because after it converted into from CND to USD, and on top of it, the shipping costs and everything else that they added onto it, I was like, what the heck? I was like, okay, but whatever. And then when it came here, I literally, and I kid you not, had to pay another $1,000 for import fees. I was so upset. Gina says, don't mention that name. YouTube will flag your live. In my last video, a woman asked me why I voted for him, and I responded and simply said, I don't vote for and we got an email. She's see, like I don't know. Sometimes like the way how everything is going, it's like when can I come off of this plane? When is this plane gonna land? I've been flying in the air too long. Like seriously, like holy. YT would not promote our video but would not say why. We went back and removed that part and the video is being promoted now. Yeah, and I don't like those little underlying shady movements that you know that YT be doing. Like you know what I mean? Because be doing the most. They be doing the most, and then like when you Google it, or sometimes when you see like the representative talking about it, they'll be like, "Oh no, we don't do this. No, there's no such thing as that." And it's like, what you mean? Like I'm living this experience. There is. Oh no, there's no ban. Yes, there is. Oh no, we don't deduct this and that. It has to be bought. Really? Are you sure? Like, oh my goodness. What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to the freedom you once had, like on these platforms? Like when you know what I mean? But now it's like their agenda is so ridiculous. Like they're banning everything. Like you can't say nothing or whatever the case is. Like I remember even on the book, you know, the F book, I don't remember, like I stopped using over there. I left from over there a while back, but I remember like there was something I had said in my comment section. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was, but it was so innocent, and I they removed it, and then they sent me like a notification saying like it's news, and I'm like false news, and I'm like what are you talking about? What the heck? And oh, we fact checked. No, what? First of all, where did you get your facts from? No, that stuff bothers me. But anyways, yeah. So because of that particular person and that particular thing, yeah, that's why. And it's so sad because it's already so hard for small business owners. Like you know what I mean? And now all these little things are making it harder and harder. And there's so much like small business owners that's like thrown in the towel. Because sometimes, honestly, like I feel like I get to a point where I'm just like, do I still want to operate a small business? Because there's so much, and it's like or do I just sometimes I feel like I just want to do like I just want to share my creativity and probably do like a whole bunch of DIYs. Like you know what I mean? Like come craft with me, just strictly that. And then give a little 1-2 tips as I do, like for people that wanna keep pursuing like entrepreneurship because there's too much happening, and I don't even know like what's gonna happen in the next 10 months or next year. Gina says, when we went to Africa, one of our friends requested a Make American Great Again hat. We brought it for him and recorded it. So is it even okay for me to say that? Seriously? Like at this point, I feel like is it that they just don't like that person that much where they made sure they program into their platform anything to do with that person is like, or is it that person that's like, don't let anybody talk about me, or I don't know, I'm gonna sue you, or I don't know, something like that. Oh, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? Oh my goodness. I'm glad you told me. Crazy work. We had to remove it. Oh man. That's crazy. And like when stuff like that happen, right? Because I have a question. Like, I know that when you get like a copyright strike or anything like that, if you get it like within the time frame that you get that on your video, you're not gaining WH, right? And if it's on it for a whole month and then after, like even if you know you write into them and you fight it or whatever and they remove it, the fact that it was there for that period of time, you don't get no WH for that. Does that same thing occur when like they send you like emails or warnings or stuff like that, that you know in situations where you have to remove these things, like does that apply same way? Gina said that's what I think. They're afraid of the backlash. Possibly. Possibly. And I spend so much of my time now on YT, so I don't even know like what in terms of stuff like that, like what other platforms will be doing and saying. I need to start doing some research because last thing I want to do is go on a platform, mention certain things, and as soon as I come, I have to leave. Like, come out. You got to go, honey. No, they tell you it's not a strike. Yeah, but I feel like, because, okay, what I've noticed, right? Because you know how over time, like, their policies change. I'm here watching Novelty. Thank you, Trini. I appreciate it. And everybody else watching, thank you, thank you, thank you. Over time, like with the policy changes and all these different updates and stuff like that, I realized because there's a lot of the vlogs I've had from back then. Well, there's like 3 vlogs I did from way back when, from like 4 years ago, that some months ago somehow end up getting a copyright strike, but they also said like it doesn't affect anything. But I've also gotten a recent copyright strike, and what I've realized with those that have the like, and I know how to for some reason the ones from way back, because I think there's a limit of like, you know what I mean, like depending on how far that warning, the copyright stretches on your video, they don't allow you to re-record over it. I've learned that, or I've realized that with my content. But if it's like a little piece of the video, then you could use the tools and then you could replace the music, right? That they're complaining about. But what I also realized with that is when I do get that, like that's why like that was before I started making my own music and before like Reds um provided some songs for me and stuff. So now I have like a good little archives of music to play, so I don't have to bother with them. But before that, and that was the reason why I pushed to make my own music. Was yes, it was music. It was music, and before I pushed for it, I would get the warning, the copyright, and they'll say like this doesn't affect your channel, doesn't have any restrictions, but yet that one video will be stuck on like 5 views and it won't go no further than that. They don't push it. They don't nothing like nothing. And as soon as like I switch it over, then all of a sudden, and I would wait like a good look a period of time, but as soon as I switch it and take it off and rewrite, it gets pushed out all of a sudden. So even though they say it doesn't affect you, like it does affect you because they don't show it. You make music, sis? Yeah. A lot of the music before I met Reds, a lot of the music on my channel is music that I created. Right? I always use the tools. Well, it happened only 2 times. Me, Jesus, for a good while, every little thing, and especially like when I first started making music and stuff, like I didn't know, like I didn't find like the proper like tools or anything to make music from or whatever the case is. So what I was doing was I was making my music off of Canva because you know I'm a Canva girly. But I quickly learned that that's not the way to go. It's not the way to go because even though you're making your own music off of Canva, I feel like the AI on Canva is getting music from every and any which way it can, and it's not monitoring like where the music's coming from and whether it's copyright content or not. So when you mix that in with what you created, YT is gonna detect it and be like, "Oh, this song is from this da da da." Plus, often a lot of times, I also realize that like the song that they're copyrighting me from that said like they flagged it for, due to this person or whatever the case is, and you like compare their music and you're like the beats, the music, like there's nothing that relates to what I created with that, but because it's like created from, you know, Canva, and there's really nothing that says like, yeah, this is yours or whatever the case is. It's like I didn't know how to fight that, so I'm like, okay, let me just replace it. Hold on, let me catch up on a comment. Okay, so Allison says, whenever I get a copyright, I just use music they provide to cover it. I've done that before, and even that gave me another copyright. But again, that was a mistake that I quickly learned from because I realized that they also have music that's copywritten, and they have music that is completely free where you don't have to credit nobody or anything like that. So I learned that the hard way as well. Gina says the crazy thing is they don't tell you what is wrong with the video. You have to figure it out. Yeah, and I don't like that. And was it music? I did say yes. Oh, and I answered that question. How come I miss in between question? I'm answering in between. Allison says, right, I always use a tool as well. It happened only 2 times. I read that. I really never notice. I do. Me, I notice everything because deep in my mind, like I have like this conspiracy theory that YT's trying to get me. So every little thing that happens, I'm always looking into it. I'm always like Googling and searching, trying to figure it out. Really, I never try their music. Um, when you say never try, Canva or well, you said YT, so I'm assuming you meant Canva. Yeah, they have apps. They have apps. I've never used like the music they provided, and only because in the past I did on my F book, and it was a problem. Even though like once I like disputed it and I spoke to Canva and they gave me things to give to FB so they could remove it and stuff like that. So I could, but that kind of traumatized me. Like, you know what I mean? But they have apps that you could use to create music with the AI. I just don't like it because there's always issues and you get copyrighted a lot. So I don't use those apps anymore. But you can. Really, I never tried. Okay. And Gina says, I let Jason handle all of the music. As you should, because trust me, it takes a lot of stress off. I just run my mouth 50-50. It's 50-50. You get to do the talking and he does all that other stuff. I wish. Oh my goodness. That's one thing I always wish. I'm like, it would be so nice to have somebody that would do like certain parts of like the business aspect or like my YT. Like, you know what I mean? Even the editing, and then I just create the content and they edit. Although like I think they'll get so overwhelmed because if I had that type of power in my hand, you know how much content I'll be creating? I'll just be creating, but like here. I'll be like here. I created this today. Like probably like 10 things for one day, but because I have to edit everything by myself, the process is slower, and I don't have that much type of space. So I have to go at a slower pace and create at a fair pace that my devices can manage. Yeah, but that's awesome. That's so beautiful. Oh, I hear my dog barking. My daughter, she went to school today, so I hear her coming in. Right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. You do very good videos. I'm impressed. Thank you. It's because honestly, I'm always trying to do better. Like I'm my biggest competition. I'm always competing with myself. Like I'm forever competing with myself. I'm forever competing with myself, and I'm forever trying to like look up like apps that I could use to improve something. And then I feel like sometimes I'll watch my videos back, and I got this advice from one of like those major content creators that do like the YT what do you call it, like I don't remember, like the advice or whatever. And I remember there was one person, I don't remember their name, but he was saying like watch back your videos and not like right away. He says wait like a week or like a couple weeks or even a month later and rewatch a video and see how you react to it. Like, because if you just create a video, obviously like it's good to you. It's like, yes, this is best thing since sliced bread, like but if you wait like a week or a month after and you play it back, your perception is going to be different. And they're like, he's like, if you're watching it and you end up on your phone or twiddling with this or whatever, understand that this is how your audience is reacting. Because if your own video has you doing all this extra stuff, your content's boring or it's not as you know it's not as fire as you think it is. And sometimes I watch like certain one of my videos, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like my past videos, and I found like I'll be watching it, but then it's like, let me check the time, or let me play this game, or let me watch this other person's YouTube in the meantime, and then I have to be like, oh man, focus, stream, focus, focus, stuff like that. So it's like that made me do better. I haven't watched all your content, but you do vlogs outside. I did, unfortunately, like I think it was just yesterday. Yesterday, I unlisted those vlogs. I do have one vlog though that was outside that it did like a decent thing that I kept up. But yeah, and thank you so much. Your edits are fire. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always trying to improve because I'm like I don't want to bore people and I want people to come on and be like, yes, okay, let me stay a little bit longer. Yep, I do rewatch now. I might wait and watch a week later. Yeah, wait a week later and rewatch your content because you have to wait till it like settle in. Like, you know what I mean? Wait till it settle in and then go back and rewatch it. And if you're watching your content and you're bored of your own content, then you know like okay, I need to improve. Like you know what I mean? And even if you're not bored, like sometimes you're watching it back. Like, cause when I watch it back, like I look at certain things and I'm like, you know what? Maybe at this point here, I could have zoomed in a bit, or maybe I could have zoomed out, or maybe I could have done this type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see things that you didn't see at first, and then, like, I apply it to my next video. So, with my next video, I'm like, okay, let me add this. I would love to see you outside. You have that personality. If you are ever NYC, let's collab. For sure. I'm kind of afraid to come to there because of your peoples. I don't know how up there's running. But yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Because I do have family. I have a lot of family in NYC. A lot. And my daughter wants to come up there too, so maybe. Maybe. Yeah. I think that would be so nice though. Eggs up myself in your vlog. Eggs up yourself in your vlog. Cause I think I have a very people always I don't know, people always tend to like my energy, which is a good thing. Because I don't like that awkward state, Sometimes you're around people and people are like so awkward, and then you're awkward, and then it's like crickets, and you're looking at them, they're looking at you, and you're wondering like, should I say something? Should I do something? Or like the right vibe? And I feel like Gina, like you fit my energy. Like from watching your vlogs and stuff, like your energy will fit my energy. Like it'll complement my energy because I know like I could just be me because and I know like you're fit right in because you're you and your energy is just so like yeah, and I'm like that too. Right? Good energy. That's what we like. Exactly. I love that. I don't like when like because I know like growing up, I've been around people like I've had friends that had different like personalities and characteristics and stuff, and I've had friends that were just like a little bit more stush. And for me, like I think like I'm able to adapt to my surroundings and stuff like that. But now my big old age, a little bit more seasoned, I don't want to adapt to anybody. I just want to be me, And there's times like when people are a little bit more like conservative and stush, and it's like you have to be more conservative and stush because if you're too bold and stuff, they're gonna give you that side eye. Or somebody that is like, or when you want to be a little bit more conservative, but they're way too bold. It's like, suckle down a little bit now. Gina says, people say I'm over the top and loud. Okay, I'm from NYC. Simone, who is the baby? Honestly, like, I like your energy. I don't think it's over the top. I don't think it's over the top. And I think your personality and your energy is like very bold. Like, you know what I mean? And I love that. Because me personally, like, there's times I don't really always like to talk or, you know what I mean? But I feel like if I was like chilling with you, it wouldn't be like a thing. Like, I wouldn't have the option to sit down and say I don't want to talk right now. Because I feel like your energy alone will make me want to be like, okay, let's party. Let's part. Let's do this. Closed mouths don't get fed. I used to hear that a lot. I used to hear that a lot. I used to hear that so much because when I was growing up, I was actually very quiet, very very quiet, and like people will say at times like, "Why didn't you say something?" or "Why you never asked?" I'll be like, "I don't know," like type of vibe. And some people always say, "Closed mouths don't get fed." I know now. I speak up now. But yeah, I love that. And your energy, I feel like that energy you give, like, you know what I mean? Especially with your partner and stuff with Jason. Like, both of your energy connects so well. And he seems like more of like the humbler, like quieter, like, and it makes your vlog so much more like intriguing. It makes it so much more intriguing. Someone says, my little girl, sweetheart, she's autistic, so I have to wind her down for bedtime. And Gina says, in my professional life, I interact with people and I do a lot of public speaking. I love meeting and talking to people. I haven't been turned down once, as you should. As you should. I've met a lot of people and I've been always out and about. And I think, like, what do I call myself? Like, I'm a antisocial social person. That's what I am. Like, I feel around people, I'm always gonna be, because I always feel like I have to be the icebreaker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to be the one to bring the energy because sometimes like people don't know, and a lot of times even if I don't feel like that, I feel like even when I'm trying to be like by myself, my own little con, I'm minding my own little business, there's always somebody trying to bring me in the mix. And I don't mean like in a negative sense. Like, for instance, I remember when I was younger, I think I was 16, because I'm like a lone wolf. I have a lot of friends, but I prefer to chill by myself, right? And I remember I went to a party by myself. I went to a party by myself and I was just there chilling. And I will never forget, like, these girls, they came, and times are different then because I don't think I'll do that now. And I definitely wouldn't be part with no random females, but back then, like, I remember these girls, like, they just came over and they start dancing and they're like, come, come. And you would have thought we were friends, like, you know what I mean? And the place was like so vibey, and people like that always finds me. So Trinidad said Simone. I don't know what that smiley stands for, but Simone, you'll see it. Gina says, yes, Jason is the calmer side of me. Yeah, I could tell. Trini says, Novelty, I can barely hear you, and my volume is right up. I don't. My volume has been in and out, in and out, in and out all day. I don't know what it is. Like, 1 minute it's clear, and the next minute it's very low. I'm so sorry, and I can't even protrude my voice any louder. It's off. See, you know, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it reset it, and I realize every time it resets, every time my vlog resets, it the volume goes away. Yeah, because every time it resets, I noticed that ever since I've been doing lives, every time it resets, the 2 hour marks and it resets, my volume goes off. I think I would have to go out and come back. I would have to go out and come back in. Let me see if I could add. Hold on. Let me see if I could put this back in and if this will help again. Hold on. Testing, testing. Is it better? Is this doing any good? Oh shoot. Wait, it plug out. Is it doing any better? Could you guys hear me better? I might have to end my vlog. Oh, Trini, Gina said it's not Jason. It's Gina. Now I'm hearing you. Okay. So I was saying every time the vlog hear me, every time it resets, for some reason, my volume always goes with it. And I've been noticing that ever since I started doing lives. Whenever it resets and starts all over, the volume goes. But I'm glad that this is working out. Trini says, "Hello, Gina." When you are close to the mic, it's good. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'll try to do this. I'm so happy I have these mics. I'm gonna try for my next vlog to make sure that I charged my other ones that I could just plug in. I'm gonna make sure I have those up and ready since I be having these problems on a regular. Let me see if I'm afraid to move now, guys. 'Cause I'm like, one wrong move, the whole sound might just go about this deal. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I caught up on comments. Simone to here to her, and Gina says, "Hey Trini," and Simone said, "Thanks, guys." Okay, I caught up on comments. I'm doing good. Hello, Masciano. Ooh, I want to ask you from the other day when I was watching your video. Now that you're here, what is your accent? What accent is that? What accent is that? And he says, "Greeting everyone." So we have story time today, but it's all over now. So now we're just talking about dang, we've been talking about a lot of stuff. Oh my goodness, and I'm gonna say this again. Thank you guys for being a part of my life today. Y'all kept it popping. I really appreciate it. I don't understand how 2 hours fly so quickly, but when you have great company, time does fly. So I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, sis. I'll give her a kiss for you. And one for me, too. Your laugh is too cute. Thank you. I feel like the whole world, and it's so funny because, like sometimes like that, when I was younger, I did not like my laugh and I didn't like to smile. I always, like, every time I smile, I always had to do this. And every time I laugh, I tried not to laugh. But that one thing that I didn't really like about myself was what everybody else seemed to love. And I didn't mind because as I got older and more people told me, it's like I got into it like I'm more acceptant of my laugh. And I don't hide my smile anymore, which is a good thing. But thank you. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Mash says, oh, sorry. Simone says, "Mash, bro, bro." Wait, let me try to say it like Simone. Wait. Mash, bro, bro. Okay. I have to practice on my English accent a little bit more better. um, Mashiano says, "What do my accents sound like?" Um, your accent sounds like what are those? Hold on. I don't know. I don't know. Like Scottish. I like that's what it gives. All right, Queen, my time up. I will catch you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Allison. See ya, and thank you for coming. I love the company you kept. I'm still here listening. Thank you, Pretty Heart. Gina says, "Blessing, Allison." Marsha says, "Simone, blessing, sis." Pretty says, "I'm cutting my hair." Man, I need a haircut too. My hair is growing out so fast. What kind of, are you getting a pixie cut or anything like that? Or are you just cutting like your ends or what are you doing to it? Allison said, thanks. Same to you, Gina and Jason. It's Gina. See, I'm professional now. I tell difference. Mash says, what's up? Trini says, big up, bro. And Mash, you didn't tell me. Was I right? Is it Scottish? Is it a Scottish accent? Let me know. It's been puzzling. I wanted to ask, but I was like, I didn't want to ask under your comments because I didn't want people to get at me. I was so scared. I don't want nobody come bite off my head. And also, I was asking people as not even close. Jesus, so what is it? Trini said, Mashiano, you good? What's the accent? What is it? Now I'm so curious to know. I need to know. I'm gonna wait for you to tell me so I can know. And for everybody that's coming in, we had a conversation earlier and we were asking, are you guys into Halloween? And if so, would you guys be doing like Vlogmas or Spooktober this year? Marsh says, Trini, I'm good and blessed, bro. Good and blessed. Are you guys gonna be doing Spooktober this year? And I'm gonna be here for I think like another 10 minutes because it's been over 2 hours, guys. It's been over 2 hours. So I'm gonna spend like 10 more minutes with you guys and then we're gonna call it a wrap. So again, for the people in the back and the people that is in the front of the class, I really appreciate you guys for coming and spending time with me. I really, really appreciate it. It's been a vibe. So Trini says, I'm good and blessed too, bro. Mash says, your laugh is contagious. I've always heard people say that. For some reason, like every time I laugh, people around me are always laughing. Especially my brothers and my siblings. Like when I was young, I used to always tell them stories, but I'm the type of person when I'm telling stories, whenever I'm telling stories, like if the story is extremely funny, it's so hard for me to tell the story. Like, have you ever guys ever watched like a person and they're telling a story, and as soon as before they start telling the story, they start laughing. Then they'll probably get like two sentences out, and then it's like laughter. And sometimes by the time they even do like after 30 minutes of like all that and finally get to tell the story, it's not even that funny, or it's like, dang, you could have just said that in one short breath. Like, why you take so long type of vibe. So I'm that person, except my story is always funny. It's always funny. So I'm always like, yeah, but and like I be rolling, I'll be dying for real. Well, oh my gosh, I hope I let me retract that. I'll be rolling for real, like trying to tell a story. So my siblings used to get so upset. Or when I start telling a story, like it depends who I'm telling the story with. Like if I start laughing before the story, like before I tell the story, they start laughing too. And they're like, we don't even know what we're laughing at. Like, and they can just stop laughing and tell the story, but then they're laughing too. And then sometimes like it catch me, and I'm just like, when I was young, guys just stop and be like, I want to laugh, but like you guys don't even hear the story, you guys are laughing. Like that used to bother me though. I think that kind of sobered me up from the laughter and made me want to tell the story. Because what are you guys laughing about, really? Like I didn't even tell the story yet. You don't even know if it's funny or not. Can you please laugh at full? No, I can't. If I do, I wouldn't be on this live. When I laugh, like when something extremely funny to me, I roll on the floor and my stomach hurts. Like I can't. You no, I can't. I remember one time, and this is really bad. I'm gonna tell the story anyways. But when I was about, I think like I was a teenager. I don't remember. I think maybe probably like 14 or something, right? I remember it was a winter day, and I was catching the bus to go to a job interview. So this was after school time. So as I was going to catch the bus, I seen a bus coming, but me personally, I'm one girl, I do not run for bus because up here, the bus drivers, I think it's a little bit different nowadays because they've refreshed. They're more kinder now, right? But back then, the bus drivers will see you running for the bus. Sometimes you'll be right in front of the bus knocking, and they'll like turn their head and look the other way like they don't see you, and they'll close the door and drive off. So me, I never ran for buses, right? So, anyways, I was going for the bus, and sadly, the bus was already there. I was like, if I ran, I like I would have meet the bus right at the doors because it only took me like a minute to run. But I was like, nah, I ain't running. However, this lady that was behind me that came running like Superwoman decided that she wasn't fit to wait for another one. I guess she was running late on time, and she decided to run for the bus. One, I don't know what possessed her because she was in the longest heels I've ever seen in my life. And two, it was in the dead midst of winter with bare ice on the floor. And she decided to sprint. And she sprint, and I know I shouldn't have laughed, but she sprint and dropped right in front of the bus. I said, "Oh my goodness!" And I started to laugh, and I was rolling on the floor. Like I was laughing, 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 laughing. Now I wouldn't do that because trust me, karma got me later on down. Karma got me later on down, but I laughed so hard. I mean, the good thing about it was the bus driver ended up coming out to see if she was okay, which meant that I was able to catch the bus. You know, I didn't have to run for it. So she took one for the team. But when I tell you, say I couldn't stop laughing. All I get on the bus, it was so bad. You know, the lady she was asking me if I was okay. I was like, I was trying to contain myself enough to ask her, like, you're asking me, like, are you okay? Like, is you good? Like, you're the one that dropped, like, but the way I was laughing, mm-mm, my laughing is uncontrollable. Like, it's uncontrollable. And because, like, a lot of people tend to laugh when I laugh, I think it'll make, like, the situation so much more worse because imagine in these times where people are so, like, uptight, like, like they'll take so much offense to it because I will laugh and everybody else, even as much as they're trying not to, I know they're gonna laugh and it's gonna be a thing. So yeah, I don't. It has to be real funny. It has to be real funny. So if you have a live, if ever you have a live, and I'm on there, or if I'm on one of those live, like next time I exit myself on someone live because I like to exit myself. And y'all come up on there and you have to tell me something really really funny if you want to see me laugh like that. But I might have to exit the live because I won't be able to control myself. I would never be able to control myself. For real. I don't know where I get that from. Cause I don't feel like nobody else in my family laughs like that. I don't know. And it's so funny because when I was younger, like because my siblings like to hear me laugh, they used to tickle me. Oh my goodness. I think now like I'm traumatized. I don't like to be tickled. Whether it's friendly or not. It's like don't tickle me. Because they used to tickle me just to see me laugh, and they'd be tickling, tickling. I'll be laughing, 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 and I would laugh so hard. I kid you not, till I start to cry. Like I laugh extremely hard, and then it turned into cry, and like I got so upset, and I'm like, stop! You don't hear me to say to stop, like like oh man, I'm telling you. Do you guys ever laugh at that? Now, if I laugh hard, I will cry, but not like that. Like now when I cry, like when I laugh hard, like teardrops be coming through my eyes. Oh my goodness. That's why I try to stay inside because people don't want me to laugh at them, and I be laughing. Gina said, "Me either." See, I'm telling you, I can't. I try to hold it in sometimes, though. I try to hold it in, but it's hard sometimes, especially when you're out in public and something really like sometimes some stuff happen and you shouldn't laugh about it. But it's just so funny. You have to laugh, and I'm like, I'm not a discreet laugher. I can't, I can't be discreet with it. I have to be like, my daughter. She's always like, "Mom, I can't bring you nowhere." And my mom, she used to always tell me like, "I always laugh after people, them leave people alone." And I'll be like, I can't help it. I can't help it. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My guy friend once told me. He always says, "What did he tell me I sound like when I laugh?" He always told me I sound like a kitten. I took offense to that. I took offense to that. What you mean? I don't laugh around him anymore. Blessings, blessing everyone. Blessings. Can you imagine? Marciana says, I can imagine you at stand-up comedy gig. They'll kick me out. They'll kick me out. It's either they'll kick me out, one, or I would be the joke. I would like, I would be the joke. I would turn into the joke, which will make me laugh even more. Marciana says, can you imagine blessings? Whenever I go to like the movie theaters and there's a lot of like humor in it, I swear I'll be the only one in there laughing. I'll be laughing so loud too. And like sometimes I feel away because like people be looking up and stuff. Gina says, we have made it upstate, getting off the bus now. It was fun being here. Have a great evening. I'll see you in the Y2 Street. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. And I'm going to take your advice, all of them. All of them. Have a good day, a good evening. And bye also, Jason. I don't know if you can hear me, but have a good evening also, Jason. My Shanna says, Jason, Gina, stay safe and blessed. I also will be coming off. See? 2 hours and 20 minutes. I made it, guys. 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I maintained people today. What a blessing that is. Gina says, Marciano, hearts. She said, nothing but love, bro. And someone says, Gina Han with the purple hearts. Marciano says, well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Gina says, you are going to go far on this platform. Keep pushing. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jason, Gina says, Simone, love. I'll let you guys say your farewells. And then I too will say my farewell. I too will say my farewell. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful. So appreciative. So appreciative. So if everybody has said their farewells, I too will say my farewells. My channel says, Simone sis, missed your live. Wow. Missed your live. Oh, well, rewatch. And Trini says, okay, Novelty, have a good evening. Thank you. Gina says, a star in the making. I'm a fan. Thank you. Oh my God, that made me feel so good. I never would imagine this day. Trini says, bye, Simone. See you tomorrow. I'll see you guys. I don't have no 1,000 followers, so I can't redirect. But I know I'm gonna book you guys because we always end up in the same live for some reason. And Chini says, "Bye, Allison." Mashiana, I know you meant retail. Oh, before I go, Mashiana, you still didn't tell me what your accent is. Please don't do that to me. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. You just drop the local info. Trini says, "Bye, Gina." Simone said, "Trini, tomorrow one hype leave for you." I use up mine. Jeez, that's just YT so wicked. Why you only give three? Gina said Trini. Hearts. Trini. Not Trini. Mashiano, could you tell me where you're from before I go? I'm waiting on you to exit. Simone said, it's okay, Mash bro. Trini said, thanks, Simone. Mash, you're not gonna tell me? I have to come stalk you on your channel and ask you. What's your accent from? Still not gonna tell me? Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till 24, which is a few seconds, and then I'm gonna let it slide. Madagascar, for real, for real. Oh my goodness, I like that cartoon. Really? Dang, Marciano, I'm not leaving until you leave. Don't make me laugh. Well, I'm leaving y'all. I'm gonna be leaving y'all. I'm gonna be leaving y'all, so y'all ain't gonna have no choice. Hopefully. Okay. Bye, guys. Simone, Masciano, Trini, Gina, and Jason. Poetic. Hold on. I'm trying to remember all names. I'm trying to remember all names. Um, Pretty Heart. Who else can I remember? Reds. Reds was here. And everybody else. I'm so sorry. I can't remember everybody. I think I did pretty good with the names, but Reds need to hear about this, and he will. I know he gonna come pull up and take some receipts. He gonna pull up to the front of the class and take some receipts. Oh, we finna hear about this. Madagascar. I like to move it, move it. Okay, I'm leaving now. I'm someone called. Yes, pretty. I'm leaving. We're all going. We're all going. So, saying thank you so much for being here. Watch out, Red still about the players. Yaga. Red says Yaga. Misha says stay safe and bless everyone. Red said Medea. And I'm saying I'm out. Later, guys.